everybody. I'm coming to you at the end of the night. Kind of had a rough day, and so I'm gonna talk to you guys about my depression and anxiety. Today's been very, riding very high for me. It's been very difficult for me today. Little things have been stressing me out, creeping my anxiety up for no reason, feeling sad for no reason, feeling lonely when I'm not alone, and so it's just been difficult. So I can just tell you how my day went and talk through it, I guess I can say. We went to bed pretty late last night. Not anything that's like out of the norm or anything, but I was just feeling really exhausted, and woke up late this morning. It was like the morning started off rough, which set a bad tone for the day. And I just felt like I've been playing catch up all day. Had to go run, normal errands, get oil changed on the car, do some shopping. Took Jonathan to get a haircut. Not anything like too crazy or strenuous or worrisome, I guess you can say. Just my anxiety was, kind of elevated just a little bit, but it wasn't like too bad. We live on a day-to-day basis with one's work, meaning we don't know when or what time or if he's going to be working for that day. And so they weren't putting up the billing tape, which is they call every day and they'll listen for what time they have to show up for work that day. And so we didn't find out that he actually had to go to work until close to 3 p.m. And normally we know earlier on in the day. And Jeromy had a doctor's appointment and had to go pick up medication for Jonathan. And I was just hoping that if Juan did go to work, it would be later on so that he could help out with that, of not having to take all the kids to the appointment by myself and worrying about dinner and just regular everyday things I've been having a really hard time with for about the last week. And I've shared a little bit with people, not too much, and I had to express to my kids today because getting homework done was a chore for me. Getting them to clean up after themselves were a chore for me. And Juan had told me, he's like, "You're raising your voice too much." And I did notice that, and I had felt a little guilty about it because that's not normally like me to raise my voice very much. And so I had to put myself on a timeout for a bit so I can regain my thoughts and not be so aggressive with my kids. And I finally had to talk to them in the car on the way to go pick up Lilah from school. We were going straight from picking her up to go straight to the doctor's and getting gas all in between there and trying to make it there in time and shuffling everything around and the kids fighting and wanting snacks and this and that. And I had told them, my anxiety is really high right now. I would really appreciate if you guys could help me. And And they're like, okay. And then Elena's like, I don't know what anxiety is. I don't understand that. So trying to explain it to a 6-year-old is not very easy. Explain to her my emotions and exactly the way that I feel when I have these moments. And so I really practiced my patience today. And I was just talking to somebody about that yesterday, about practicing being patient with ourselves. And I wasn't allowing that today for myself. I'm learning a lot about me personally. Having to open up and be honest and talk about my feelings. Making videos has helped me immensely, just trying to vocalize what I want and what I need. And so talking about this is helping quite a bit. I have had trouble with that in the past, not opening up as much. And so trying to teach her about that was also like teaching myself about being patient with them as they learn to be patient with me. And so things were going fine and everything, and then getting to the doctor's appointment, getting the kids, there were so many people there, it was packed. It was like Monday, I don't know, after the weekend, and and I don't know, it was just so busy there. And when I normally go, it's not really that packed, so it was just, I'm not good around a lot of people, and so my anxiety was like, went from here to like here in a matter of minutes, just walking from my car inside into the waiting room. And the kids were being fine, they were listening really well, and then just waiting for Jeremy's name to be called. And then the nurse was extremely rude, and then that set from here like up to here. And normally when you go in, mind you, these are pediatrics, pediatric nurses, pediatric doctors, they normally can handle themselves around kids and stuff. And the nurse is just like, do I come into your house and do I make a mess and do I do this and do I do that? And like, I told her when we were coming in, I'm coming in with a group of us. And then she put us in like one of the smallest rooms that she could find, I guess. When we were walking down the hallway, there were so many rooms that were available. And it's not like we were going to see a doctor. We were just there for her to take the stitches out and for us to go. And that was it. And so, just the way that she was made me pretty upset again. And then Elena just couldn't do right by this lady. She was by like the bed thing, whatever. She was standing by that, and she's like, I need you to move because you're in my way. I need to get right there. And then so she moved over here kind of beside me, and I was sitting in a chair, Jonathan was in the stroller, Lilah was sitting next to me in another chair, and Jeromy was like on the little bed thing, and there was no place for her to go except for like this little, the seat that like the doctors sit on or whatever. The nurses don't even sit there. The doctors do. And she just sat on it. Didn't move, didn't twirl, didn't turn in it, like didn't do anything. And so she walked over to Elena and she grabbed her by the shoulders and she like lifted her up. And she was like, kind of like that. And she's like, it's a liability. If you fall off of that, I'm getting in trouble. And so she just like moved her off of it. And then I said, if you have an issue of where she's at, just tell me. There's not a lot of room in here. And she's like, she just needs to be right here, out of my way. But she was completely not in her way at all. And like, why would I hold her reliable if she falls off and hurt herself? I wouldn't do that. I'm not that kind of person. But anyways, so I'm like, let's just get the stitches out and so I can go, so I can take my kids and get out of here. And so Elena, she was messing with something, and she dropped it and she picked something off of the floor. And then the nurse was like, well, what are you doing? I don't come into your house and make a mess. And I was like, she dropped something. And so it was just like a piece of paper. She picked it up and she threw it away. And so she was just extremely annoyed for whatever reason. And she was just out to get her. And I'm not okay with that. There's no reason for her to act like that or to be rude. And so I was trying to be patient. Like, maybe she's had a hard time with patients or with doctors or whatever it is. She just doesn't want to be at work today. Trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. And then, so she was done getting the stitches out and everything. She was putting stuff away. And Elena went over just to wash her hands. And she's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I need to wash my hands because I picked that thing off of the floor and this is a doctor's. I need to wash my hands. You know, floor could be dirty or whatever. And she's like, you're going to get my floor all wet. And she's like, well, I need to wash my hands. I'm like, if she needs to wash her hands, like, just let her do it. I'd rather her have clean hands than have sick, filthy hands. Like, and so she's like, well, you need to hurry up. And then, so she handed her a paper towel, and then she pulled out a paper towel, and she put it on the floor and was, like, wiping up the floor. She's like, see, she got the floor all wet. And I was like, really? I know I'm, like, ranting and raving, and it's just, like, it's just an outlet for me. I don't know. I'm just trying to get through my day. Kids have a hard time going to bed. Went to bed later, and it's like, I don't want to have a hard time in an issue in the morning. I sound like I'm complaining, but I'm going to turn it around. I have really, really, really wanted to be bad on my diet. Just from today, like, I wanted to eat cookies and I wanted to just have bad things, and then I don't want to feel guilty. So, I don't know. It's just a lot today. Today was just a lot. And I've had a fairly good day until, I don't know. There was good in today. I know there was. I have to find it. I need to name one thing that came out of this day that was good for me. It might take me a minute. I don't know. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm putting myself on the spot. Okay, so maybe the good out of this day was I was able to run errands and keep myself busy, and I was really proud of Lilah today. She did really good at her speech that she had to do. She told me that she got all the words right, she had the timing right, she said all the words right. She has been struggling in the last few months with school, and so the strides that she's been making have been really good, and so for that I am grateful. I didn't know that. She's my quiet child. She hates conflict. She hates bringing problems. She likes to solve her own problems. She doesn't like being a burden. She doesn't like a lot of attention drawn to herself. She's very patient and kind. She's very hardworking and trusting. For all that, I am grateful. All the qualities that I see in her. She's going to grow up to be a wonderful, amazing person. And even though she's struggling like academically right now, I know she's going to take all of that and it's going to push her to work harder. And so for that, I am grateful. That was my good for today. I try to find good in every day. And either in myself or the people I surround myself with. I do not have many friends. And I purposely make it that way because I only want to surround myself with goodness. I don't want to surround myself with people who are going to bring me down. And my children uplift me, and I love being with them. But sometimes, like being a mom is hard. I went from being a teenager to being a wife to being a mother very quickly. And so there's a lot of learning that I'm still doing. And so they're teaching me every single day things about myself. I'm learning things about them every single day. Qualities in them that I love or things that they need to work on to become better people. And I hate projecting like my anxiety and my depression onto them or showing it as like a sign of weakness, but it's not. I need to let them know it's okay to have hardships in life, even though like when life is going great, sometimes you can still be sad or your brain can be foggy, you can feel anxious. It's okay. And I taught that to Jeromy today. And he kept asking me like for reassurance. Am I doing better? Am I acting better? Am I listening better, Mom? And he just really wanted that reassurance that he wasn't adding to my anxiety, which is very thoughtful of him and very kind. And I used to be afraid to show that stuff to my kids. I wanted them to believe like I was some kind of super mom, but I'm not. I'm just a regular mom who has issues. Like, I used to be addicted to food. I'm not really addicted to food anymore, but food has a hold on me of when I get like this. And I'm trying to learn to not turn to food when I do feel like this. And so that's why I'm turning to the camera. I'm trying to turn it to something more positive. And I have some family members who have some anger issues and they're working on that. and showing them to take whatever could be negative about yourself and turn it into a positive to help yourself grow. And that's something that's big. But I am going to end this video here. Thank you guys for listening. If you have any comments, leave them down below. I really like interacting with you guys, getting to know you and your thoughts, and maybe like coping mechanisms that you guys do for yourself, things that help make you feel better when you're not feeling well, or how you get past things that give you anxiety, or if you suffer from depression, anything like that. I'm really looking for tools to help me get through my days when I feel like that. Not very often, but when it happens very hard. It hits me like a ton of bricks. So I will see you guys in the next video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.